Welcome everyone to the Wisconsin Faith and Solar Initiative. We are happy to have a presenter here, Eric Anglada, Ecological Programming Coordinator on the Sinsinawa Mound in Sinsinawa, Wisconsin. I'm Huda Alkaff. I'm the founder and director of Wisconsin Green Muslims and the coordinator of the Wisconsin Faith and Solar Initiative. With that, we're happy to listen to the story of Sinsinawa Mound and their faith and solar work. Thank you, Eric, for joining us.
Thanks. Good to be with you. I'll just start right into it. So Sinsinawa Mound is in the southwest corner of Wisconsin, down about a mile from Illinois and just a few miles from the Iowa borders as well. We are on 450 acres. Sinsinawa Mound is a natural mound. Often people wonder if it's a Native American burial ground. It's not. It's a natural mound. It's a unique geological entity in the driftless region, the unglaciated region of southwest Wisconsin. We are on the ancestral homeland of the indigenous peoples known as the Ho-Chunk, the Iowa, Meskwaki, and Sauk peoples. It is the home and has been the home since the 1840s to a community of Catholic sisters, Dominican sisters. Currently, there are about 100 Dominican sisters on the land there. And within the 450 acres are woods, prairie, oak savanna, organic agriculture, and a variety of gardens for the kitchen. So there you can see Sinsinawa Mound. You can see the solar panels, one of the three spots. So we'll talk for the next several minutes here about the solar panels at Sinsinawa Mound. But before we do that, the guiding principles, three key guiding principles of the leadership within Sinsinawa Mound in judging whether to take an action or not. First is recognizing that Sinsinawa Mound is a sacred space. It is holy ground. Two, the need to incorporate sustainable practices that support care of Earth, which include energy and water efficiency, renewable energy, and the reduction of our carbon footprint. Obviously, when we're talking about including energy, we're talking about solar energy. And third, ensure that further investments in property, land, and buildings protect the history, life forms, and natural features of the property. So environmental stewardship is hugely important for the community at Sinsinawa Mound. The Sinsinawa Mound solar panel arrays were installed in 2018. They are 254 kilowatts total. Annually, it produces over 330,000 kilowatts, supplies nearly 30% of the annual electricity usage. This project was made possible through partnerships with Focus on Energy and Solar for Good grants that were hugely important, totaling $80,000, which was really key in defraying costs. The installations were installed by Eagle Point Solar over in Dubuque, and the panels save more than $35,000 annually. Carbon footprint reductions, really important what solar panels are doing in terms of lessening the amount of carbon, which is the more carbon we release, the worse climate change is going to be. So nearly 7,000 tons of CO2 will be eliminated. That's huge. These equivalencies are equal to that of the nearly 7,000 tons of CO2. So driving is reduced by over 600,000 gallons of gas, or recycling over 20,000 tons of waste. We're preventing nearly 7 million pounds of coal being burned. This is equivalent to planting over 160,000 trees. This generates enough electricity to power over 50 homes. So this is a serious array that Sinsinawa has installed. Here's a picture of one of the arrays, which is on the north side of Sinsinawa Mound. Subsequently, prairie has been planted around there. So right now the prairie is in full bloom. This is a quote from Sister Sheila Fitzgerald, who's been a Dominican sister for decades. And she has been one of the big movers and shakers at the mound in getting the community to embrace environmental and ecological efforts. She says, our efforts to move in the direction of a more energy efficient operation grows out of a strong desire to live more in harmony with the natural environment and to reduce our carbon footprint so that we are contributing to a more habitable planet for future generations. So this is, the indigenous communities think ahead in 7 generations. So we need to be thinking always about those future generations. And even though the Sinsinawa community is aging, they are thinking about the future. And that's very wise and very inspiring. This is the solar array down by the Sinsinawa Villa, which is the full-on nursing care for sisters who need full-time care. And Pope Francis in 2015 wrote an open letter to the whole planet, to everyone living on the planet. And his encyclical was called Laudato Si, on care for our common home. And this was a big, inspiring document for the Sinsinawa community, and especially for myself. It's just a beautiful, ecological, lyrical manifesto about the ways we need to live in the world. He writes, humanity is called to recognize the need for changes of lifestyle, production, and consumption in order to combat this warming, or at least the human causes which produced or aggravated it. So we are called to recognize the need for changes of lifestyle, production, and consumption. So solar panels are one piece of that important puzzle that Pope Francis is talking about. This is the 3rd array at Sinsinawa Mound, which is powering the water treatment plant. And Pope Francis simply writes, the climate is a common good belonging to all and meant for all. And so, we don't have our own specific climates when around our property line, atmospheric commons. We all share the air we breathe. We share this world together. And so the Sinsinawa sisters have embraced a tremendous amount of responsibility as a result of that realization of our connection. As Pope Francis always says, everything is connected, everything is interrelated, and solar panels is one piece of that puzzle. This was the opening, the grand opening and ribbon cutting at Sinsinawa Mound. There are a few sisters there. There are folks from Eagle Solar over in Dubuque. So this was a big team effort. You can see those panels are probably 15 feet high or so. We have had musicians play under there. We've have had a harvest fest. Behind that area is about a 10-acre or field of organic agriculture. So it's all connected here. Here's a picture. You can see Huda there on the very left side. This was a sustainable faith gathering in the fall of 2019. Here we have representatives from 3 states, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois, from Interfaith Power and Light, and organizations who are trying to transform the way we live, trying to transform the way we engage energy. So this was a really inspiring group and a lovely day to gather around the solar panels. This was, as I said, a huge team effort. Sister Angelo Collins, Sister Kathy Flynn, Sister Sheila Fitzgerald, Sister Julie Schwab, Sister Kristen Tomey, all Dominican sisters who were key players in this. Steve Hopman, Jeff Straight, Ronald Lindblom, Mark Hansen, and Niels Walter. And then partners of solar energy partners of Jim and Mary Jo Pullen from Eagle Point Solar, Mark Leiden from Focus on Energy, Sam Dunaski from Renew Wisconsin, and Troy Pitts from Alliant Energy. So this is a major project, and so it helps to have lots of helping hands and people doing various aspects of the project. So we're grateful for all these folks. Now, I want to mention that I am actually here today, dialing in from St. Isidore Catholic Worker Farm, my own home. I am 10 miles north of Sinsinawa Mound. And there you can see a picture of our solar array, which we installed in 2016 when we moved to Cuba City. We are on a 25-acre homestead where we live in community, and we installed a 4.1 kilowatt array in the fall of 2016. Soon after Laudato Si was published, another we were certainly inspired by that. Here you can see in front of the solar array some milkweed for the monarchs. We have some temporary fencing up for rotational grazing. Behind the solar panels is a field where we're restoring into prairie. Behind the house, you can kind of see the roof of the house. There's our laundry line. And so we don't, for example, don't use a dryer at all. So we installed solar panels and at the same time reduced the amount of energy that we need day in, day out. We are a community of 6, small intentional community. And so we share, for example, one refrigerator. So we're trying to figure out ways to cut the amount of energy we need. And we are on the grid, so we are selling back kilowatts to the electric company. If we're not using them, it goes automatically back into the grid, and we're paid back for that. We also heat and cook with wood in the winter time, so that's another way that we're reducing our energy impact. And we've gotten pretty much totally off of gas, except for when we drive. And so everything else is either using wood or electricity, which is powered by solar. So this is our project for which we are excited about and welcome visitors. As I said, it's a 25-acre homestead. The solar panels are a key part of the broader puzzle pieces that we need to be changing our lives and engaging the land in regenerative ways and drawing more and more life and creating more and more energy. So thank you for your attention, and I appreciate the invitation. Solar panels are just so important in our lives and in the climate crisis that we now face. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric, for this sharing your story and multiple stories here. Interesting. So we are very excited about these different activities that faith communities are engaged in. This is what the Wisconsin Faith and Solar Initiative is delighted to present, different ways, inspiring ways that faith communities are engaged in, applying their faith and living their faith. And with that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I'm Huda Alkaff, founder and director of Wisconsin Green Muslims and the coordinator of the Wisconsin Faith and Solar Initiative. We connect with over 18 different faith traditions and spiritualities, and we advance solar while strengthening interfaith relationships. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care.